Welcome back to Everlasting Summer, part 17? I never actually checked. I should really start checking these before I start, but this one is marked, in the save files, this is marked as epilogue, so it should be over. We'll probably finish the game officially in this episode today. Tomorrow, comes out tomorrow, but regardless, today. And then we'll be working on the other routes. Euphoria prevailed in the makeup room. We congratulated and hugged each other. The sound of opening champagne bottles was echoing in the halls. All discs were sold, and it made me even happier. Eventually, I managed to become something, too. It's impossible to predict the future of our band, or of the whole affair with music. But one thing was clear. I finally found something I am interested in, and I can dedicate my entire time to. As well as that, I see that it may please someone besides me. Probably I was now the happiest man on the earth. At least it surely was the best moment of my life. The club is empty, instruments are packed, so I am to wait for others and may go home. I glanced at the stage where I was standing just an hour ago. Once again, joy and pleasure, excitement gripped me. For sure, I'll appear on the stage more than once. And maybe more serious stages, like concert halls and Olympic stadiums, are to be expected. Who knows? Everything is possible now. After saying goodbye to my mates, I ran to the bus stop and luckily caught the 4:10 bus. Nobody was inside. I took a seat beside the driver. Just like back then, some familiar melody sounded from the radio set. Maybe one day my songs will also be played on the radio. In some way, these days trips were similar to the events that took place a year ago. Obviously now everything is expected, achieved by working hard. It is a planned result. But I'm coming back being another person. A person who has now changed. Achievement unlocked, so hardcore. Achievement unlocked, Elisa, bad end. Was the bad ending. You can't see that Steam achievement, but I can. Every story has its beginning and its end. Every story has its own outline, synopsis, contents, key points, a prologue, and an epilogue. And there's no book which would not reveal the things you didn't pay attention to previously after you read it again. Every story has its beginning and its end. Almost every. I was about to say. I guess that's it. We have completed the game. The first time. Am I expected to give final thoughts here? I suppose I should. I think they're showing me all the things that helped me with the Elisa route, right? I'm assuming, since every single picture here has Elisa with me, or Elisa in it, I should say. Well, I guess he supported us all these years, kept waiting and believing. And it's a pretty good game. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm going to enjoy going through the rest of the ends. I'm going to record that, obviously. I wouldn't upload a 4-minute video. What is this? Is this like an alternate thing where Lena punches Elisa? What? Okay then, now I need to get like wikis or something up so I can figure out which decisions I need to make at which points for each route. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, I think I've figured this out. I have the Steam walkthrough of all the different routes to get. It just said, I have to try and figure this out, but it just says reply, go to get the cards with Slavya, lose tournament, then go to the bus stop. Who cares, I'd better keep on looking for the answers, blah blah blah. This is to go for Slavya's route. We're gonna try and get the good end. But I know something is if you go over the owl, it makes his eyes light up on that. I'm curious what happens when you click. Oh, that's what happens when you click on them. You see your endings. At least they're bad. Synchronized with Steam. Alright. Something I also noticed is this, or not this, the gallery. It would make it perfect for taking, what's it called? Pictures. For getting like screenshots and stuff, because I can sit there and go backgrounds. Choose whatever background I want without the text on it. And yeah, that's boring stuff. You don't want to see that, you want to see the playthrough, so. I think I need to start from the beginning, but I'm going to skip things that I've already seen before. Like, fast forward. Doesn't say anything, so just answer. Fast forward. Frame rate's having a fun time with all this. We have no choices to make through this, so we're just letting it happen. Until the first decision. This is a great option, by the way. Guy who took time to put this in. Reply. Alright. Oh wait, I shouldn't do that! Alright, well, I'm gonna... I probably shouldn't have done that. Because now I realize there's probably different text after choosing a different option. Whoopsies. And all this show with the bus. I'll just start from here. Sorry. With all this show with the bus, and the travels and walking or sleeping were troubling only me, while here everything was just like it was supposed to be. Camp leader, pioneer uniform. Are they making a historical reconstruction here? This feels... Alright, I've already seen it. I hope I wouldn't find Lennon standing... Yeah. Even that would not surprise me right now. After standing alone for a while, I headed into the camp. Near 50 meters ahead, a small one-story house popped down on the left side. We've seen this. There's Lena. We're not going with the Lena route, so we're not going to worry about it. I'm just going to slowly skip myself. Actually, seems to be the same. Let's just go ahead. So small benches on the sides. No. Hello. Goodbye. Holy crap, this is like 7 episodes in. Not that far in, but still. It doesn't say anything. Say anything about this. I'm gonna do nothing. I'm sure that's how I probably get the good route through. Whatever. This is something I didn't see the first time, so. Elisa, running past, stopped only for a moment and growled. I'll deal with you later. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I added a forced, guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made no reply and went on chasing Electronic. She didn't chase Electronic the first time. Whatever. I found it apparently you can only get Miku's route by getting an ending. Any ending. So, cool, we have Miku's route now. Looks like I'll have to kill my time alone, waiting for the dinner. I decided to go east. At least in the direction where the east would have been in my world. Soon after I found myself near a football pitch. Yes, we have already seen this. Hey, that's Ilyana. Apparently Ilyana's route can't. I think Ilyana's route as well. They didn't say Ilyana though, they say Yulia's route. Y-U-L-Y-A. I don't know that person. you have to complete all good endings. Or endings. Plus Miku's route. Alright, well we're going for Slavya, so. Hey you, Lisa shouted, I want to play, did not know what to answer. On the one hand, blah 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 blah. This we've seen, but I don't want to like fast forward the stuff in case something different happens. Sat down on a bench and threw an exhausted sigh. I better sit here and wait for dinner. After all, it's easy to search for answers when you're not hungry. They do good food people here, right? You know, it's curious how the simplest human needs can be asked. I've seen this. Yep, I remember this. I don't just want to fast forward. I would if I wasn't really caring about the story, but I kind of am because I'm doing this series. But yeah. Olga was there standing on the porch. Look back. I think we've seen this. What I should do is read through everything and then just in editing go insane. That would take hours. There's nothing bad can happen if I come with her. My stomach backed me up there. The two of us went inside. The canteen looked like a canteen. We've seen this. Semyon, wait a minute, we'll find you a place to sit. Seen this, blah blah. Is like literally this. Now I'm actually kind of also curious if pretty much just the decisions are what's different, and then slightly after the decisions, and then the same thing happens. So I'm just gonna keep hitting enter. Only she could do it. Yep. I'm gonna take different decisions here. She still runs off. Look at that. I thought I'd had the choice to run after her or not. Yep, seen this. I pretty much have no other choice with Slavya until they get to the tournament. You know what we could do is, rather than care so much about the story, is just go with the choices and then the endings of it, because there's obviously different endings, like different story in the endings and all that. I almost feel like the story would be different up to the ending though. This feels all the same. I don't know. We could do like an ending, a good ending, and then a bad ending every episode. Like a good ending one episode, then the bad ending of the previous ending, the next episode, and then the next girl good and then bad, and so on and so forth. I don't know. It's up to you guys. You let me know in the comments what you'd like. I am pretty sure a few of you have probably already played this game and already know all the endings, but still. Dark, in any case, blah blah blah. Alright. Hello, what are you doing here so late? There's no choice, but still. Miss Slavya is standing before me. I was so surprised that I got a seizure. Yeah, we've read this. Okay, skippity skip. We've seen that one. I'm gonna pay close attention to Slavya's text though, just to see if it's any different. Though any pioneers could be different. Salisa breaking in. Again, I thought I had a choice to tell her about Slavya or not. Oh well. You're gonna hear a lot of enter key, by the way. Oh, okay, stop. How did I do that? What did I miss? Oh no, that's the same. I just remember having this giant grin on her face last time. Good night, good night. Yes, I think, it doesn't say whether to take the keys or not to take the keys. So I'm just gonna take the keys. Right? Oh, that's what I did. Right arrow and then enter. Praising the book is to go for her route. I'm gonna keep silent because we're going to Slavya's route. I realized the text was probably different there. Oh. No, I don't think the text was any different. Do. Dreams, day 2. Meow. Everything we've seen. Wee. God, the audio for this. Does it save for anything here? No. Oh yeah, because I'm not supposed to, there's nothing special. We're just gonna meet all the peoples. Which we've done before, so bye-bye. Meow. Infirmary. Meow. That was fast. And Miku. This might be different actually, because now we have Miku's route unlocked. The door came in without any hesitation, because you don't know how to knock. No instruments for the whole orchestra here, the drums, the guitar, and even the piano. This time looking close at every instrument, wanted to guess the time period where they were from. Suddenly heard the crawling sound from someone underneath the piano. Nothing different here, okay. Ow. That sounded like it hurt, actually. Oh, this is the cards already. Alright, so go get the cards with Slavya. That's what we're supposed to do. Sure, let's go. We headed towards my cabin. Roughly halfway there, Slavya stopped. Yeah, that's not going to be different. It doesn't say whether or not, so let's bet with Elisa. Well, not bet with her when we go with Lena's route, because that's what you're supposed to do with Lena, I think it said. Let's see. Yeah, with Elisa, with Lena's route, it says don't bet with Elisa. Alright, Nero. We need to lose the tournament. I'm going to finish the good route for this, at least today. And then you guys can tell me in the comments whether you'd like it to be a route every day, every episode, or a... not every day, there's no way I'd get that every day. Skip the tutorial. I wasn't given a tutorial last time, was I? Alright, Nero. Skip the tournament, lose against Elisa. This just made my life so much easier. I've lost to Elisa. That seriously just made my life so much easier. It realizes people are just going to replay just to get the routes. And it's the most ill-advised. One can only guess what she will be up to tomorrow. She can embarrass me at the lineup, if I won't oversleep, of course. She probably will. She could complain to Olga. She could just start the rumors around the camp. The worst thing is that everyone will believe her, not me. I wasn't even sure why, but I was 100% sure about it. I left the canteen. It was still too early to sleep, and a short walk looked like a good idea. Where should I head to? Go to the bus stop. That's what it says. The events of the past day kept flashing brightly in my head. That damn useless checklist. This stupid tournament. Right now, I do not want to do a single thing and talk to anyone. I do not even want to start thinking about my current situation. I came to the square and took a seat on the bench while staring at the Genda statue. This isn't the bus stop, mate. I don't know how long I've been sitting like this, but finally the crickets chirping brought me back to reality. I got up and blindly walked in a random direction. The bus stop. Somehow, a second day in a row, I find myself in this place. Maybe subconsciously I feel that the bus will be waiting for me here to take me back to my real world. To the real world. Very unlikely. On the other hand, why not? It got dark already. I was just standing there and gazing at the night sky. Astronomy has never attracted me so much as astronautics. It's always been more interesting to look at the pictures of far constellations, nebulae, and galaxies made by artists than to try and figure out how to measure angular velocities and masses of stars. But certainly, I would be able to find the Great Bear constellation. I've never heard of that. Usually people will find Ursa Major, like the Big Dipper, first. But if I get lost in the snow forest, the only way to find the way out would be that little knowledge about moss growing on the north side of the tree. However, I do not think it would still help me to get out. I was about to get back to the camp when all of a sudden I got a noise behind the gate. Who is it again? So no. Near the clubhouse, it seemed like somebody was walking down the path to the forest. It was so dark that I could see nothing but a blurred shadow. I was wondering who was out so late at night. A pioneer breaching the discipline? Tisk tisk. I followed a mysterious shadow rapidly, but still carefully. Why are you following it? I was moving from path to path, and then after a while, I found myself in the depths of the forest, finally losing sight of the stranger. Maybe I should turn back. Trees parted before me, and a magnificent view of the small forest lake struck my eyes. And then I noticed Slavya. She was jumping up and fluttering, untying the neckerchief and stretching her shirt up in the air. This all seemed even more fantastic than my own presence in this camp. Slavya looked like a spirit of the forest, or perhaps a nymph. She looked so natural, more like an ancient goddess than a human being. I remembered all the theological theories which I read some time ago. This reminded me of the pantheism, the idea that God is in all that is, everything that we see around. What if we're not the aliens or the time warps, but divine providence that brought me here, if it were? Indeed, Slavya mentioned that she loves nature. So it turns out that even she is an enigma, isn't she? Slavya went into the water. I was ashamed, but I couldn't just take my eyes off. Silvery moonlight reflected on her wet skin, making Slavya look like an ancient Greek statue. Venus de Milo, maybe? The scene was so fabulous that there was no room for carnal lust, only sublime admiration of true beauty. I was simply enjoying Slavya with tender admiration, forgetting everything else even existed. Maybe this ain't hell but heaven. A branch foully snapped under my foot. Slavya turned around, but there was no way to recognize me in the darkness of the night. Or at least so it seemed. She rapidly came out of the lake, put on her clothes in a hurry, and got out of sight into the forest. I quietly went after her. Slavya was quietly trailing among the trees, choosing the easiest paths and gracefully avoiding sheared trees, pits, and snags. It was a hard job to keep pace with her. Moreover, I definitely didn't want to be caught. Firstly, peeping is just no good, and secondly, in fact, it still remains to be seen what she is doing here. Although it somehow seemed to be innocent enough, it seemingly had anything to do with my presence in this world. It was just innocent. It was nothing worth peeping. At last we got to the square. Slavya stopped and turned around to me. Don't you think I've noticed you? I was a bit confused, but I put on a mask of visible calmness. And how long ago? I'm not sure. Slavya came closer. 5 minutes ago, maybe. So, even there at the lake. Which lake are you talking about? Well, Slavya seemed to be sincerely surprised, so I couldn't simply figure it out whether she was pretending that nothing has happened to her. Well, never mind. I made up my mind to behave like a gentleman, as gentle as it was possible in these circumstances, and said nothing. Alright. Unexpectedly easily, she agreed. What a beautiful night. Slavya took a seat on a bench and looked up at the sky. I guess such nights are frequent here. Well, probably. Why so uncertain? I don't know. I just got deep in thoughts. Thinking about what? She stared at me like she was looking for something on my face, but then got back to stargazing. Now and then I fall into such a mood at night. During the day I'm wrapped up into work, with no time to relax, while at night it's so quiet here. If it had not been for the crickets and the night birds, one would feel like being face to face with the universe. For some reason I didn't consider Slavya as someone who would talk about such matters. As for me, it's even too quiet here. 1 minute. My brother had to bug me about something there. Is it? Oh god, I can't remember her voice anymore. It's been so long. Yes, really. Anything wrong with that? Well, alright. She stood up harshly and fixed a skirt. It's time to go to bed. Good night. Watched her walking away. Our talking might have been about nothing, but seemed to me it had some deep and secret meaning, which could appear only here, only next to Slavya. Seems like even in my situation, such moments of peace and serenity are absolutely necessary. They make me feel united with the universe. I'd even say vital, especially now. Not sure how much time I spent sitting there, but after a little while, I started to feel sleepy. For the first time today, I finally felt how tired I was. There was no light in the window, so Olga must have been sleeping already. Strangely enough, she waited for me yesterday. I've entered the cabin, quietly stripped and laid on the bed. When you think about it, my situation hasn't gotten any clearer today. In fact, I've spent the whole day doing useless stuff. I would have never even thought about doing something like this in the real world. I just remembered I need to bring up my cheat sheet. There we are. Although I had plenty of time. How much time would I have here in total is still a mystery. 7 days. Maybe an eternity, or maybe there are only a few minutes left. I just didn't want to think about the past, about how I got into this camp. For the first time in a long time I felt really tired. Not only emotionally tired, but also physically tired, psychologically tired, and God knows how I was tired. I just wanted everyone and everything to bugger off, starting with my own thoughts. I wanted this mess to somehow resolve itself by itself, or at least without my active participation. And what if I'm stuck here forever? Then I'll have to get used to it. So, just like that, I'm not ready. My consciousness slowly flew away from me, and it progressively became harder to concentrate on something distinct. Perhaps it's better to wait until tomorrow. I rolled over and fell asleep. You're gonna have your dream, or are you? Stay 3. Night left a feeling of anxiety behind. I woke up being exhausted both physically and mentally. It happens to me all the time. You see incredibly lucid images in your dreams, as if you fell into a Hollywood blockbuster with a plot full of twists, well-paid actors, and multi-million-dollar visual effects. And then you wake in the morning without remembering a thing. That's what I was trying to do, to restore the images shown by my relaxed brain. But this part of memory was empty, either archived or formatted at all. This is a thing I've already been read through, so I think we're going to skip on to the next decision. It says, who cares? I better keep on looking for the answers. It's a link? No, it's just underlined. Alright, I'm going to skip to that. I'll see you there. Sorry, but I promised Lena. Fine, wait a minute. Says nothing. Let's go with Lena. Even though I'm not trying for Lena's route. I probably shouldn't have done that. Let's actually get to the decision. See you there. Wait. Oh, it's not letting me. Oh, because I haven't done this before. Derp. Okay, I'm not being derpy. Having heard the librarian shouting, Lena was stealing glances at me for a while. Now, what was she shouting? Fuck. Oh, wait a second. Sorry, maybe later. I gently loosened my sleeve from her grip and handed it up, blah, blah, blah. So she tried to hold me prisoner. Morning. Strangely enough, she didn't blush. She smiled instead. Do you mind if I join you? I'll take the meal and get back in no time. Yeah, sure. In a minute, I was already sitting in front of her with a simple set of plates on the tray. Porridge, 2 poached eggs, 4 pieces of wheat bread, a boiled sausage, and a glass of compote. Compote. That's how it's pronounced. Made of unknown fruits and berries. Have a nice... Oh, moving my microphone. Sorry. Have a nice meal. Thanks. I was trying to eat as neatly as I could. No chopping, smearing the food, or pouring the compote over myself. Compote. I don't know anymore. Seems like eating like a human and not like a hog was not that hard at all. As usual, Lena remained silent. That means I should start a talk. Going to the disco tonight? Probably. She kept silence for a while. And you? I don't know yet. Though I didn't want to go there at all. I didn't like disco parties since my school days. Why so? What do you mean? My mind was still far away, in my school times. Why don't you want to go? I didn't say I don't want to. Okay then. But if you're inviting me... Lena turned red and looked away. I don't really... Sorry, just kidding. Felt confused. It was better not to joke that way. Fine. Indifferently, said Lena, and focused on her food, while her face turned even more red. You fool. Why do I stuck on this disco as if we have nothing more to talk about? Oh wait, is there actually anything? By the way, maybe you know what Xenia wanted to ask me? Huh? I mean, when I came in, she wanted something from me. I don't know. I see. The conversation reached dead end, and so I tried to seem fully focused on my meal. Lena had finished her breakfast first. I should go. See you later. See you. I was finishing chewing on the sausage. Tastes like twisted pear cable. Wonder if they have an internet access here. Guess no. I don't think it's been invented properly yet. A pioneer sitting at the other table has noticed me talking to myself and stared at me. I smiled and waved to him in return. After such a friendly greeting, he, for some reason, left the canteen quickly without finishing his breakfast. Done with the food, it's time to search for some clues. Sometime later, I finally came to the infirmary. I had nothing to do in that place. Though the nurse seemed quite caring, it's better to keep the distance from her. Such benevolence is actually scary. She may know something, but I had no courage to just enter the infirmary. Moreover, I had no motive. Not a single one. Immersed in my own thoughts, I didn't notice the nurse who was standing at the porch. I don't like her voice because I don't know what her voice is. Hi there, Pioneer. She's gonna have the most manly voice ever again. I say that every time. She came closer. You must be sick. Came for medicine? No, I was just wandering around. Oh, the truant, I see. But if you're here, I have a serious task for you. I gave her a look of inquiry. The word task made me feel uneasy. It sounded like something inevitable. The nurse smiled spitefully. You both will help me to make the inventory of the supplied medicine, which arrived today. Both? Who are we? I think we've seen this before. Apparently can't skip past here, so this is apparently new stuffs. Hi again. Lena emerged from the nurse's back. Seems strange that I haven't noticed her until now. Come after dinner. I'd explain everything to Lena. She will tell you what to do. Medicine, huh? Supplied today. But Olga told me that no bus will arrive in the next couple of days. Seen it? Oh. Strange, she seemed more spirited during the lunch. No way, there are lots of boxes. And the Pioneer is always ready. Isn't it so, Pioneer? She gazed at me and smiled menacingly. I don't want to spend the whole evening doing something like this. Also, I've got more important things to do. But rejecting this request would be really improper. If it wasn't Lena who's standing here, I would definitely think my way out. Who cares? I better keep on the runaway. Do not ask about the bottle. Nope. Doesn't say anything. I'm gonna weasel my way out because I didn't do that last time. Maybe I shouldn't have lied to her. I should think before I say something. Oh, really? And what exactly are you going to be helping her with? It was turning a bad way, but I decided to stand my ground. Her cabin. She asked me to clean it up, sort the things, and so on. Bet you know what a mess the cabin is. Sure, she asked you to tidy up her closet, too. The nurse looked at me so intensely that the Napoleon's fiasco at the Battle of Waterloo seemed a now small annoyance comparing to my current flop. I was going to say something, but she continued to speak. Isn't the Battle of Waterloo with the whole Napoleon thing, like he got sick and they lost because of that? Something. But she continued to speak. Okay then, Pioneer. We'll manage it without you. I apologize, but you see... I said I and looked at Lena. She stood looking at the ground as before, while blushing more and more. It's alright. I'll manage it by my own. Okay then. An awkward silence followed. Better to turn her down now than to skip her out. But during the oh wait, we might not. We might actually be going to the party thing, or helping with her. Oh, what am I gonna do during the party then? I don't want to go with the Elisa right here. I won't get the Elisa right now. I wanted to sink into the ground because of my lame lie that probably offended Lena. Well, goodbye then. Bye. The nurse is still smiling spitefully. I turned and walked away, almost running. Though in fact, I really wanted to run. Common sense advised me to, not to. I got myself back to the square. So what's next? I decided to visit my cabin, in order to collect my phone. Don't know where I'll find myself today, but having a watch is always useful. Skip. Who cares? I better keep on looking for the answers. Oh yeah, this would bring me to the Elisa route. And then we'd go, I'd rather help Slavya. Whoever that is, what's the big deal? I have nothing better. I have better things to do. I came back to the leader's cabin. Olga was lying lazily on her bed and reading a book. Semyon, what are you doing here? That's what I could ask her too. Forgotten something. And so I came back. You were absent at the lineup. Oh, yeah, I apologize. Alright. Nevertheless, you should do something useful today. Just as I planned. But I have my own vision of what useful means. Sleep. Like, you can go to the square to help with cleaning. Slavya's in charge there. Strange. I've just been there and haven't seen anyone. Or you could visit the boys at the Club of Electronics. They've asked me for a hand. Those fathers of invention again. Finally, you could help at the sports club. What are they up to? They're renewing the pitch, fixing the benches, changing the goal nets, and so on. Did she always have a British accent? I give up. She should really have a Russian accent, but I'm not going to offend Russians by doing a crappy Russian accent because I'm Canadian. Honestly, none of those options suited me. Why is she always trying to burden me with some work? Because that's how pioneers roll. Seriously, except Slavya, no one ever works here, while some particular people are enjoying their free time with a youthful spirit. Every leader's attempt to make me busy seems to be following the only purpose: prevent me from finding out my current location. Really, all deep and vital questions concerning my existence are swept away by a broom, together with all rubbish and litter. In my case, taking some time to work would probably pay off, but same with someone suffering gangrene and rejecting the amputation, I will stand by my beliefs. You know, I already had my own arrangements. Oh really? What kind of arrangements? She bucked up. Well, I gotta just tell her what I'm really thinking about. On the other hand, why not? But it's too dangerous. What are you thinking about? At least now I kept a fragile balance and nothing is threatening me. Everything seems that way. Just as I thought. What exactly she thought remains secret. Same with you. Probably have not realized yet how important it is to participate in social life. This is the only way to become a role model pioneer. I didn't want to attend another long lecture, so I decided to accept one of the offers. Sometimes the answers in the world are findable. In this world are findable in the most unexpected places. Or at least I wanted to believe so. So, should I choose for you? The leader's voice turned authoritative. I can do it myself, thank you. Mumbled I into the beard, and then went out of the... What beard? What? Said an expression. I'd rather help Slavya. That's what we choose, and that's a plus for us. Of the two evils, well, of three in this case, choose the lesser, they say. Slavya wasn't evil at all, so my choice was obvious. Any rational being keeps his house clean, but I usually perceived house cleaning as something similar to gym workouts. Yeah, it's a good thing, but not my thing at all. However, I liked the ideas of painting the benches, or of helping two future geniuses of Russian or Soviet, science even less. There were about a dozen pioneers at the square. Where did they all come from, I wonder? I approached Slavya. Hi there. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. You've come to help. Yeah, you've come to help. Well, not out of my free will, of course. I would never help you, just because I felt like it. Whoopsh, slap that. No. I thought it over again. I see. Take the broom. Take Take the broom. Your area is right next to the monument. I can't get her. She does not supposed to have an accent. Except a Canadian accent. Because apparently I have a Canadian accent. I say about weird. Weird. Frankly speaking, there was nothing to broom there. It seemed pretty clean to me. Though some rubbish was still lying around. After brooming for a while, I came back to Slavya, who was sitting on a bench and taking a break. What a nice day, eh? Aye, yeah. That almost turned Scottish. I was gonna say you're a Canadian, eh? You know what I'm talking about? Oh, we don't say about. It's just about. Do Americans say about? I'm serious. Because that's the only way I can perceive the word about being pronounced weird by Canadians. It's about. A-B-O-U-T. Okay, I'm gonna stop talking about that. Yeah, thought it's a bit too. That was a bit too hot. She covered her eyes with her hand and looked up in the sky. You're like a tireless worker of communist labor. Oh, come on. I just like to help others. That's good. And what about you? What about me? Well, it seems that you're a bit burdened by the community service. Well, probably. Why is that? I don't really know. Seriously, she can't expect me to just throw all my ideas concerning the point at her. She might drown in them, God forbid. Maybe you just don't like company. Oh, frowny face. I'm gonna test something very quickly. Okay, I can't actually click this thing if I haven't seen the dialogue before. Did I read that last one? Yes, I did. Okay. It's actually quite possible. There's something true in Slavya's words. I suppose that she was good at reading other people's minds. At least at reading mine. Though, how can it be possible if I find it hard to understand myself at times? What are you going to do when the session is over? What do you mean? Well, are you going to enter the college? Or want to master a profession? In the USSR, a person finishing the high school typically had to choose between either getting a college degree, typically achieving a status of engineer or scientist, or going into secondary vocational school, thus mastering a profession. That sounds like regular, like here in Canada and the US too, really, so cool beans. I've already achieved grand mastery at all my professions, watching anime and surfing the internet. Yep. I don't know yet. What about you? We have a small farm back home, so I want to help my parents there. It sounded pretty strange. Are there any private farms in the USSR where all the farming has to be collective? But I decided not to go into details. And what are your parents doing? My parents were not a good theme to discuss. It's not that my parents are not good, quite the opposite. They are kind-hearted people. But it's not the right time for such a discussion. My father works at the local council, and my mother is a teacher. That wasn't actually true. More like half the truth. Cool. She seemed to really consider that a cool thing. I guess so. The dialogue had reached a dead end, so I was trying to take my eyes away from Slavya and kept me gazing under my feet, up in the sky or just looking around. You know, I'm pretty sure you'll also be fine. Slavya looked at me thoughtfully. Now, what was that for? And what was this also about? Thanks? I mumbled. But what do you mean? I suppose that you happen to be too pessimistic at times. Isn't it a way too straightforward? Maybe. But you're gonna be alright. Maybe. After this conversation, I felt ill at ease. On the other hand, on the one hand, there was nothing special in her words. In general, almost every person being in Slavya's shoes could come to the similar conclusions. Nevertheless, I felt, and not for the first time, like she could see right through me. So, let's get to cleaning. Aha! She smiled and took the broom. And flew off into the sunset. She is a witch. I never thought that cleaning could bring such a deep pleasure. No, I wasn't upset because of this conversation. On the contrary, I was glad to hear that from her. For the first time ever, somebody was discussing my life without criticizing me, without giving any stupid advices based on his or her own personal experience, without intentions to go through my head, without making some far-reaching conclusions. I was just glad that somebody supported me. No, it's not quite right. I was just glad that it was Slavya who supported me. In a short while, the music played around the camp, calling for lunch. I put away the broom with a sigh of relief and a sense of accomplishment, and went to the canteen. Skip time. The wiki says I should run away. Run away from Ulyana? Well, it's gotta lead to Slavya then. The solution came out of thin air. While Olga was scolding Ulyana, I sneaked up to the exit. Thank goodness it was nearby. Getting outside, I've hesitated for a few moments and ran into Electronic. Looks like he was working till late at the club. Where's the fire? Where's the fire? Forgot he has a lower voice. Fire? My shuttle is leaving in 10 minutes. What? Hey, wait. Electronic's words hung in the air behind me. I ran off to the square. It's definitely not the best place to hide. Indeed, in the state of stress or fatigue, I frequently start talking to myself. Well, not really talking, but rather mumbling under my breath. I'm like that too. It helps me to concentrate and find the right solution quickly. Okay, where next? Where to next? Where should I go? It doesn't say where to go. The best place would be the one with the least amount of people. Consequently, my way lies to the woods. That's because I don't get a choice. That's why it doesn't say where to go. Half a minute later, I was already relaxing, sitting on a stump near the forest trail. That was one hell of a getaway. Hope that will teach Ulyana to behave. Indeed, she's not a child anymore. You said she looks like she's 14. That's not really a child anymore, but still. Well, sad but true. By Metallica? Not a child anymore. Now a thought crossed my mind. I might have sort of mishandled the whole situation. A fair share of broken tableware is on my account. Moreover, one might mention that I didn't have to engage in this mess at the beginning. It got me thinking. How's the weather? Slavya stood right before me. How does she manage to sneak up unnoticed? Thank goodness it's not Olga. Fine. That were the only words I managed to squeeze out of myself. I just thought I'll find you here. Why? I'm not sure. It's just... She looked up at the sky. There are less people around here. Does Slavya really think I have some sort of social phobia? Based on every evidence you've given her... Yeah. Thinking twice, she actually has a reason to think so. What'd I just say? And what are you doing here? Looking for you. She smiled again, but this time her smile looked a bit different. A little friendlier, I guess. Me? Why? Can't you guess? I braced and prepared for a harsh lecture. I understand that you're guilty to a lesser degree than Ulyana. It is the camp leader's assistant defending me. Ah! I felt even more pathetic. Damn, get serious. We're not playing bad cop, good cop here. It's good cop, bad cop. Thank you very much. I could have just made a Soviet Russia joke. I should have. In Soviet Russia, bad... No. Never mind, that doesn't work. I was going to say because it's bad cop, good cop is a reverse from good cop, bad cop. Never mind. But granted that you aren't going to help her, you'll help me. Saying that, Slavya looked up at the sky yet again. I wonder what is she looking for in there? And what do I need to do? We have to reorganize the books in the library. Oh, that sounds like fun. It's way better than disciplinary enslavement together with Ulyana. Also true. And anyway, it was an offer I couldn't refuse. I'm all at your service, mademoiselle. Or madame. She laughed. Then follow me, monsieur. In a couple of minutes, we were in the library. All the way, I kept looking around in fear of meeting Olga. Looks like Slavya didn't notice my anxiety. And still, it's quite odd that she hasn't scolded me. Well, if we are to continue our analogy, Slavya is definitely a good cop. When we came inside, a gleaming sunlight streamed through the windows of the library, with myriads of dust particles dancing in the beams. This is a special library dust with its distinctive smell that you can never confuse with anything. These microscopic pieces of moribund collected works of Marxism, Leninism, Marxism-Leninism classics. That's lost on me. That's interesting. Does the dust near the fiction shelf smell alike to the dust near the books on the physics and chemistry? You start with those, Rose. Slavya pointed at the bookshelf near the Lenin's sculpture. Near the Lenin's sculpted head. Okay, but what exactly do I have to do? Just remove the books from the shelves and put them on the floor. We'll dust them and then we'll put them back. By looking at all this dust, reading is barely a pioneer's favorite activity. Any idea where Xenia might be? Don't know. She probably went somewhere. Thanks. Couldn't figure that out myself. Strange. It appears that there are just two places in the world where one can meet Xenia, the library or the canteen. I got into gear. I guess I've never held so many books in my hands simultaneously in my entire life. Anyway, I'm much more used to reading from a computer screen or a tablet. Firstly, there is no need for paying for electronic books. Secondly, you cannot find everything in printed form. How's it going? Asked Slavya, standing behind the bookshelves. It's okay. It goes on little by little. Have you read anything from that? From what? Well, about communism. Nah, I'm kind of more into historical books. And adventures. Me too. Well, historical literature wasn't exactly my favorite, but the class struggle under socialism was definitely no match for it. Hey, don't take a grudge for Ilyana. I don't. Indeed, I felt that my ego mostly recovered from the incident at the canteen. Besides, I managed to clean myself from the lunch leftovers in the forest lake. It's not like she's doing all that out of spite. Out of spite or not, but one should think through his own actions. Or hers. Last time I checked, Ilyana's a girl. Whatever. I kept moving around dozens of books written by people totally unknown to me. I'm gonna forget who they are in a minute, and I'll never get to know what they were writing about. That is a doom of many writers, to become a forsaken set of letters in a hardcover on a bookshelf in a library of a non-existent pioneer camp's reality. Have you finished? Yeah, I think so. Me too. Okay, let's do it this way. I'll be wiping them up, and you'll be putting them back on the shelves. And we're gonna end this here. I thought we'd actually be able to get through all the dialogue and stuff and get to the Slavya ending. But apparently not. This is actually probably going to be around 40 to 50 minutes, I've just realized, because I recorded stuff earlier today for it. So, I'm sorry. It's too long. I was just going to record it all, but no. We're going to try and keep it into 30-minute chunks then, since I've now figured out how this whole fast-forwarding system works. Thank you all for joining and watching and reading along and, and commenting and being helpful. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.